Take 63, Glock 1911, whatever. Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we're looking at sort of a comparison-contrast situation with the Glock and the 1911. We'll get into that in a minute with the Tokarev. I was watching Eyes and Ears Tactical earlier today, and the question was asked, which is easier to disassemble, the Glock or the 1911? The answer is fairly simple, unless you work for the ATF or CNN apparently, because we are clear. Pull the trigger, pull that back just a little bit, grab the little nubs on the side here above the trigger, and then slide it apart. Easy as pie. Now we'll leave these out. Now, we'll move over to the Tokarev. A little more complex, but not crazy. Remove our magazine. Take our safety off. Hammer. We have nothing in this. Now I want you to notice something. Here on this pistol, we have only the one slot. That is for your slide catch. Okay? Now, we take our Tokarev that has been cleared and is empty. We come over to this latch. Yeah. Oops. Put a little too much ass on it, did I? There we go. Alright. Latch comes out. You push and then remove this. You want to put your hand over here under the dust cover. Ease it off, because that spring wants to do shit like that. Take note of that little nub. Come back here. We have our front end. You rotate the bushing off, and then you slide your barrel out. Pretty easy, fairly simple, really straightforward. One feature that does make this an improvement over the 1911 is the inclusion of a unitized trigger. Very nice. Modern SIG folk can certainly appreciate that little feature. Makes replacement kind of easy. Both of these represent actually only about 50 years of handgun development. Started with the 1902 Browning, on which the principal basis from which this was principally derived, though it does share a little bit more with its bigger brother or cousin. This, the Glock, yeah, the polymer's pretty advanced, the finish is pretty advanced, but at the end of the day, this is the other Browning semi-auto pistol design, or full-size pistol design, of recoil management and barrel control. You'll notice that this backed out, that one slid out through the front. Your Browning high power, CZ75 and related pistols use this system. Now for the 1911, you'll note there is a second little divot there. it moves past the slide lock. Okay? The purpose of that is that's a takedown notch. As I said, there's nothing securing this except for a little plunger in this end of this little tube. Between this end and this end is a spring. There's a plunger here. You see it pop out for your safety. It gives it that nice clicky sound. Okay? Now for disassembly, take our cleared pistol, move it till that lines up with this end of our slide catch, and then it comes out. Now again, you go into the front. Woo! Always fun. Notice the little nubbin. Come back to the front of it, and we have our bushing. Rotate it one way, slides right on out. Rotate it the other way, and off it comes. And out the front. These lugs engage, if I can get it on camera too. Yeah, you can see those little recesses. This also has them. You can see the lugs on that barrel. One moment. Okay, so we have our principal parts and assemblies ready to go. With the power of the magical stick of pointing, you can see our barrel bushing here. There's a little lug right there on that side of it. The Tokarev has two such lugs on the bottom. Anyway, the reason for this is that's a much higher pressure cartridge than the 45 ACP. That's the reason. You want to keep that in there when you're shooting it. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad time. At least an inconvenient one. Note that on both we have these, which engage in those aforementioned slots in there to lock the gun together when it's ready to fire. We have very similar retainers for the slide. We have very similar recoil springs, although this has a nubbin built into it. This has this second piece. Swinging links on both the barrels in the traditional Browning style, and both are single action semi-automatics with single stack magazines, 7 and 8 respectively. There's not a thing on this table that I don't recommend. They're all excellent firearms. But they are not all equal in terms of user-friendly operation. This is just a fact. So, let us reassemble these weapons. We'll go Glock, Tok, 1911. Okay? Let's start with the Glock. Take our slide. This flat face on the barrel here. Cut into it right there. It's going to be important in a second. Drop our barrel in and get it seated. Note the nubbin on this is almost identical to the one there. We have a flat face. The nubbin fits into this hole right here. This sits on that shelf. We take, see these overhanging pieces here? They made up to these little slots on either side, these rails on either side. And ta-da! We are now both overqualified to work for the ATF or the news. Now, onto the talk. We take our frame, we slip our trigger unit. Come on now, don't be a bitch. There we go. We slip our trigger unit down into the place where it locks in. Alright. We reassemble our slide components. You can see those little cuts that fits into. We add our barrel. Then we take this. Now notice the little half moon cut there. That's so the spring can rest against the barrel. Like so. Come on, up you go. There we go. Alright, again, you see these rails. They have slots in the slide. Alright, now it's used together. What I'm going to do is drop the hammer. Now, this hole, let's see if I can get that lined up right so it can be seen. There we go. You want it clear and clean through and through, so just a second. This is hard to do through a camera. Alright, there we go. That's almost got it. This thing's a little loose. I mean, it's 70 years old. Well, 71. Alright, take this. We drop it right there. And the whole thing just drops on down in it. Roll the gun over. And now it's all secured. And now what is the most fun part of this system, a firearm. We press all the way down and in. We take our bushing, slip it over. Again, this is something that's carried over to the, yeah. Alright. And we're good. Now, on to the one that might cause a problem. This barrel and this are very tight together. Like those tolerances are super tight. I think the barrel bells a little bit at the end where they flared it. It's got a nice crown on it. That's going to maybe cause us an issue. Another thing you want to remember, down here you can see on the right side a little piece. There we go. Get it to pop up. See it sitting upright. Get it in the light, and it fell down. Down is where you want it when you reassemble it. You see it sticking up over the rail there. All right. Whoop. Push that down. We repopulate our slide like so. The barrel. Get it into its locking recesses. We take, again, note the half moon cut. Our spring. We place it in the pistol. We take our bushing. Oh, yeah. That's right, it's tight and doesn't want to go in there right away. Alright. Okay. Do. Alright. Pass that through the spring, get it rotated all the way over. That'll be important in a second. Notice it has clearance now. We take our frame, we line our rails up. Okay. We come back over here. Make sure that our swinging link is aligned. It's a very loose piece. It's supposed to move freely, and sometimes it does when you don't want it to, like now. There we go. There it is. Nice clear. We drop it down in here, and then, oh yeah, that's right. We gotta move the slide back into place. Again, we line it up with that. Okay, now that, and we push it. Oh, wait, no. There it is, yeah. Just had to get it lined up right, and I didn't have it there. And now the slide's on it. Okay, so now we come again to the most fun part. I may need a tool for this, though it seems to have gotten a lot looser, especially since we shot it the other day. Mount that on there. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. That thing got off center. Do that. Give us a little bit of room. There we go. Now it's all the way over where it needs to be. That's my fault. Alright. Now that it's all the way where it's supposed to be, push down. And push it over until it catches. There we go. Nice and easy. And, oh, forgot to check the safety. Playing with Glocks too much. We're good. See? It's that simple, folks. These are all excellent duty handguns. I don't know what else to say about them besides they rock. Of course, the Glock is a nice modern weapon, but as I said, almost every piece of technology you're looking at right here is about a century old. I mean, even technically the plastic idea. I'm sorry, polymer. It's good stuff. Gotta love it. Anyway, I am not reshooting this. This is like the 30th time I've tried. Something has gone wrong every single time. I'm not 100% sure that this one's going to work, but we shall see. At any rate, I hope this was informative. Thanks to all my new subs. You guys are awesome. I mean, not quite as awesome as the older ones, but you'll get there. You'll get there. I'm sure you will. And thanks, and be seeing you.